and hopefully we now have a stream. Yeah, I think we do. Alright, I can finally see it. So I'm not sure if that qualifying was actually on stream or not. I was live, but yeah, I think it may have just been a glitch. So we've restarted the stream now anyway, but welcome to VSL Tier 2, where unfortunately we seem to have missed qualifying, but Half-Life getting on pole by 4/10 over Gareth. And Albert P3, Y-Racer, round out the second row, P4, Jordan 5th, Acorn 6th, N89 7th, Hotspeed 8th, Newgarden 9th, Tony 10th, and Dava 11th. So that's your starting order for the sprint. Whereas we are just on the formation lap now, so yeah, everything should be good. We'll bring all this up. Yeah, should be alright. Let's have a look at tyres quick. Here we go. Everyone on the mediums, so no strategy variation for the sprint race. So yeah, this is a sprint race. There was a one-shot qualifying, and now we have the 12-lap sprint before the 35-lap main race. Hungary, quite a short track, so quite a few laps around here, about 1 minute, I want to say like 17, something around there, I'd expect. I can't quite remember, but I'm going to imagine somewhere around there. But these two out front, pulling away a little bit, so they're going to be sat on the grid for a few seconds longer than they probably want to right now. And yeah, I was just saying in qualifying, this build on the right, I've never seen this building in my life, and I don't know what it's doing there. And that is a very messed up grid entry from Alba. I don't know what he was thinking, but the last car coming to the grid now, when that lines up, we will be ready to go. And here come the lights. For the sprint race here in Hungary, it's 5 lights. And the lights go out, and away we go. It's Haslag starting on pole. How has his start been? It's not been the best. Gareth is going to get alongside, and in fact in front into turn 1. Haslag going to have to pull into the slipstream. It all looks cleanish behind. Oh, Haslag having to avoid the back of the Mercedes there. That could cost him maybe even second position. He could drop further down the grid. Albert looking, and he's made the move. In fact, I think there was a bit of contact there, and that might cost Haslag a third. That's an awful start for our pole sitter, who drops down to third, potentially fourth, but no, he defends well from Y-Race. So first, down to third for Haslager. Going on behind, there's still a few battles. Davo and Hotspeed side by side for this first sector. About to start the second sector for the first time in this sprint race, and it is Hotspeed who comes out on top in that specific battle. But Gareth, good start from him. He was P1 very early. He had a really good start, better pull away and better second phase than Haslager, and that gets himself up to P1. And now he's got Albert behind him as well, so let's see how Haslager can recover from dropping down from first to third. Not the best start at all for him, but now getting to the getting to the rhythm and that of this Hungarian circuit, very technical. Monaco without the walls as it's done very often. I think there's been an instant further back. That's Newgarden off the track. He's dropped down now to last place, but he hasn't lost too much extra time. Does he have any damage? I can't see any damage on that front wing, so I think he should be okay. As Gareth has first off, obviously, and Haslager's had a spin now. So the first lap, it goes from bad to worse for Haslager as he starts P1 and will end the lap last. So pretty much the worst start possible for our pole sitter. He's now P last. And Acorn maybe under pressure a little bit from Jordan here. There aren't really many overtaking spots apart from turn 1. There you can see the really exciting strategies that the game is predicting. It is a 0 stop, so I look forward to that. And Albert putting a bit of pressure on Gareth here. He seems to be the fastest of the two right now. Just follow him through the middle sector. There is absolutely nowhere to overtake through here, so you just got to be patient, wait. No DRS yet. It will be available from next lap onwards though. Oh, and that is a big snap of oversteer from Albert. That could allow Y-Racer to close that gap and get within DRS actually. Apologies, I do still have a little bit of a cough I had last week. Sorry if I do mute any time. I'm still a little bit ill, but I'm sure we can soldier on. As the field, well, the front two especially, starting to pull away and create their own little gap. But Acorn seems to be the cork in the bottle right now for everyone from fourth downwards. And Gareth setting a new fastest lap again, so he's showing he's got the pace early on here. DRS enabled, so will there be any overtakes? There won't be any DRS here, and there won't be any DRS on this straight, so technically it's pretty much another lap you've got to wait because there is no detection point until the very end of the lap, so still no DRS being activated yet. But Albert just needs to stick about this close to Gal, maybe pull him in by an extra tenth and a half, and then he can have a real go getting past the Mercedes man for P1. We haven't seen the best of Gareth this season so far. He's not quite had the ultimate pace he showed last season, but in this race he's definitely having a bit of a throwback. But Albert now closing in, sticking relatively close, 6 tenths off in his PB, so this is a good lap from Albert. And Gareth makes a bit of a mistake there, he runs a bit wide, that could allow Albert to close up even more, and we could be looking at our first overtake since lap 1. These two are absolutely gapping the cars behind, and it is a fastest lap from Albert, but look, he doesn't have the straight line speed. Gareth has burnt a little bit more ERS there, he's about 15% lower, so he is investing that ERS early on. Haas now doing the fast laps, he's showing he does have the pace, but just after that awful lap he's got a long way to go to recover, as we're already a quarter of the way, a third of the way through the sprint race, sorry. And yeah, still Acorn holding up this train all the way down to Newgarden in 10th. And I wonder if Haas will fancy his chances of catching these. Got 4.5 seconds to catch in about 9 laps. Definitely possible, especially with maybe some potential tyre wear. Well, I'm not too sure that will play too. They're going to factor in this short 12-lap race. Gap up front though, still coming down 3.5 tenths now, and that looked like a good right-hander at the end of sector 2 there for Albert, so he might close that gap even more. Now for the last sector. He's got to make this count, he's got to stay close. And here we have a battle between the two AlphaTauris, Hotspeed and Jordan. It's Hotspeed trying to overtake his teammate, and he's going to be unsuccessful in that so far. So Jordan, he's got to attack Acorn soon or he will come under attack. And he'll go back on one of the two leaders. I don't think it's going to be a move. Gareth seems to have better straight line speed, so I think he might be a bit of a immovable object out front for the time being, unless Albert really does invest some ERS in that. And Dave are going down the inside of Hotspeed. And that move is complete as they appear out of turn 1. Davo, the McLaren, is in front now, so Hotspeed going from attacking his teammate 1 sec to go to now down into P7. And we'll have to look behind him because Tony is there, and Hotspeed in fact has barely any ERS. He saw the light flashing there on the back on board with Tony. So Hotspeed maybe got to settle down a little bit, regain some ERS before attacking anyone else. Or he could find himself in even more bother. But Acorn definitely holding this train up maybe just a little bit. But he's doing a good job to stay in front. It doesn't matter how much you beat people by, as long as you cross that finish line in front. Jordan nearly matching his PB down to the 1,000. 2 tenths to gap out front, so we'll look at this because this could be an opportunity for Albert if he decides to burn. And he is going to. He's going to open the DRS and burn the ERS, but look at that straight on speed from Gareth. It's really strong, unless there's going to be a big dive here from the Alpine. There's no move on. And that is some good defending from Gareth. Albert just doesn't seem to have low enough wings. It is a track you want to run high downforce. That's typically why the Red Bulls have been strong around here in years gone by, because of the high downforce requirement. But without that straight on speed, you ain't going to get past anyone. You can't. It's a lot harder to overtake in the corners than it is on the straight. Going back to this train for 4th, it is Davo looking to make even more moves. Now he's setting a purple first sector, so the McLaren really motoring on right now. Still no real moves being made at the minute, apart from that Davo move on Hotspeed. Out front, Albert is still sticking close to Gareth, but he's been closer than this before and hasn't made the move, so I doubt it's going to happen now. But who knows, maybe Albert will decide to full send fully RS burn down the straight. He's got to do it at some point, as we are now halfway through the race. And it looks like it could be now. He's still burning, he's got to go for it now. He's invested a lot of ERS. He's going to go down the inside of the Mercedes. And he's definitely there. He's going to push him wide a little bit. No, Gareth runs a little bit wide on his own. And now side by side down towards turn 2. What's going to happen here? Gareth down the inside. Oh, and that's deep from the Mercedes. And they touch and Gareth is round. Gareth goes a bit deep into the corner trying to defend his position. Spins. And that's going to see him drop down from leading and to around about 7th place. I think he should be alright. Unless Tony gets a good run here. Is Tony going to go for the move? And there you can see Gareth has no ERS either. And I don't think there would have been any damage from that. It wasn't hard contact, it was just contact in the wrong angle to spin Gareth round. And now Alba has a 3.5 second lead. He should be able to cruise to the victory in the sprint race now and a pole position. But Gareth has got some work to do. Maybe fighting a little bit too hard. He had at least a top 2 guaranteed, and now he's got to have a good drive to even get into the top 5. And Haslager is absolutely flying. He's caught to the back of these lot. That's about 6 seconds he's caught in 5 laps or so. So amazing pace shown from Haslager right now. But this train for P3 now, the final podium. Things are about to hot up. There's Davo surely going to get the move done on Jordan into turn 1. He's going to pull to the inside. There he goes and sends it. And that is Davo past. He goes a bit deep though. Is there potential for a switchback here from Jordan? Both will have DRS thanks to Acorn, but no. Davo out tractions him and he is secured P4. So one car left to go in this train for the McLaren. He's got past Hotspeed, he's got past Jordan, and now it's Acorn who he's setting his sights on. And David does have that penalty, he has to remember that, so he needs to try and get past and pull a gap as quickly as possible. Still pretty much all one big train, and Haslager's making moves. He's up to P9. Oh, and never mind, Haslager into the wall. So Haslager has gone from first to last, got himself back up to 9th and is now last again, and this time I think he might be a bit too far back to catch, even for his great pace he's showing. But Hotspeed, he's going to go down the inside of his teammate. No, Jordan breaks late. Hotspeed maybe backs out of it just a little bit. But he's got to worry about Gareth behind, especially with the low ERS that Hotspeed does have. What can he do? Gareth gets on the juice quickly. Coming across the line, he's now down into the 20s. So the pace dropping off for these like now. Haslager in the wall, maybe he picked up some damage or just wants a fastest lap. But Gareth, can go to try and go around the outside of Hotspeed. That move isn't on. Haslager retires. He's going to set 11th place for the main race. Gareth looking down the inside, forces Hotspeed into a bit of a mistake. Hotspeed feeling the pressure of our champion behind him, and is going to be switching around. No, Gareth's gone! Gareth is gone and into the wall, and that is the entirety of that Mercedes front wing gone. So it's going to be the man on pole and the man in second, down to last and second last for the main race, given that there are no more incidents and retirements, because Gareth is going to have to pit for a new front wing, so it's almost like a reverse grid here. So it just goes to show that you can have the ultimate pace, but if you don't have the consistency and the racecraft to keep things in check, there's no point being quick. Now, Davo still pressuring Acorn, and ooh, the rear end of that McLaren getting a bit skatey. Sliding just a little bit, showing the wear. 10-lap-old mediums, they shouldn't be too bad. I think they can easily go like 17, 18 around here, but maybe aggressive weaving there from Acorn. I'm not sure what the steward's opinions on that will be. That was quite aggressive weaving to break the slipstream there. Definitely more than one move. So still no potential for an overtake, and in fact Acorn might actually be closing up to Y-Racer, so Y-Racer could be struggling for pace a little bit. Let's have a look at his first sector. It's going to be a... Oh, he's lifting. Is Y-Racer going to... Is Y-Racer struggling on fuel? The fuel light's on. Davo's out! What has happened? Davo's crashed! Davo has crashed through the fast left of turn 5, and Davo's now out of this race. So it's all kicking off here in the final few laps. Davo's crashed, and I'm going to assume that's a self-inflicted crash there for Davo. And I'm pretty sure Y-Racer has no fuel. Well, he's going to run out of fuel because he's lifting very early. Let's have a look. Yeah, look how early he's lifted. I'm pretty sure Y-Racer is low on fuel and he's having to lift, so just to make sure he gets to the end of this race. And this could be a gift to Acorn and the cars behind. Let's see though. As Albert is bolting away and he's going to come to an easy sprint race win. And Gareth now up to 9th. Y-Racer crossing the line, he's going to pull over and is he going to let these guys through? No, he's just going defensive. Will he lift off? Yeah, he's still lifted, so I think he is majorly underfueled for some reason. It's a sprint race, there isn't really much time to save fuel. Before, you know, the race has started, it's pretty much come to an end, so Y-Racer making a mistake there, I'm pretty sure. And that could be Acorn up into second, and, well, respectively, everyone could gain a position, apart from maybe Gareth, who's too far behind to benefit. But now Y-Racer is going to come under pressure, and with these fuel issues, he could cause a bit of carnage here with potentially lifting off early. Acorn has to be aware that that car in front is going to be going extra slow into the braking zones and potentially slowing down in places you wouldn't expect. But Acorn's still sitting behind, struggling a little bit with understeer, it looks like. That Alfa Romeo isn't turning the best, and now Y-Racer, he didn't seem to lift off into that corner, so maybe he saved the fuel he needs to. We'll ride a bit on board with him. Well, we'll have his telemetry up. We'll see when he's on throttle and off roll, which will be a good indicator, because it does tend to be the throttle that burns through the fuel, believe it or not. And look at these lap times, they're down to 21s. These are very conservative laps. And is he going to lift again? He is. Look at that coasting. Lift and coast major for Y-Racer. And oh, Acorn spinning off in the background. Jordan, is he close enough to capitalise? There's even more battling going on behind us. Hot speed's lost it as well. And oh my god, there is so much drama going on here towards the end of the race. And there's Jordan now on the inside of Acorn 3-4, and he's got in front. So now it's Jordan up to P3. And is Tony going to have a go at his teammate? No, surely he's stay behind. He does. And there's Tony corner cutting. That's a penalty for him. That could see him drop down to potentially even 8. And now Jordan has to try and catch Y-Racer on this last lap. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Y-Racer, unless he runs out of fuel, has pulled a masterclass. Look at him. He's really, really coasting. We'll have to go on board with Albert soon because he's going to win this race. But this is drama. Absolute drama for Y-Racer. Is he still going to lift? No, he's maybe he's saved the fuel he needs to. But coming around the final corner is Albert in the Alpine, who's going to take pole position for the main race. He crossed the line, weaving, and that is Albert who wins. But let's go with Y-Racer. Is he going to make it to the end on fuel? He is. He is going to make it to the end on fuel. So after all that drama, he manages to hold on. Jordan 4th, Acorn 5th, Acorn 4th, N89 5th, Y-Racer 6th. Tony drops down to 7th after penalties, and Hot Speed will be P8, and then all the way with the last 4 finishers will be Gareth, who has had to pit for a wing change, the only person who has pit in this race. And he will come across the line at 4P9, and I think he got the fastest lap. I'll have a quick look. Where do I see fastest lap? Yeah, he does with an 81, and he is slowing down across the line. And there we go, he coasts across the line to get P9. And Albert getting driver of the day for coming home pretty much, in the end, a dominant victory. His potential rivals in this race kind of crumbled around him. So there you go, there's your finishing order. We'll head to the results screen there. So only 1 penalty, which is quite good to see. So Albert getting P1 with Y-Racer and Jordan joining him on the podium. Acorn 4th, N89 5th, Newgarden 6th, Tony 7th, Hot Speed 8th, Gareth, the last of our finishers, and then 2 DNFs in Davo, and our pole sitter, Haas. He's going to have to do a first to last to a last to first now, and we'll have to see how he manages to get on. So we will get into the main race soon. And seems dry for the start of the main race anyway. So I'll run you through the championship. This is pre-sprint race, by the way, so I'm not 100% sure how the sprint race changes things, but it was Haslager leading the way on 79 points with Gareth P2. So our two title protagonists having really bad races. And Jordan, I'm pretty sure he will have jumped Gareth there because he was only 3 points behind on 65, and with a P3 finish I think he got in the end, surely will now be in P2. Hotspeed 4th with 57 points, Acorn 5th on 51, Y-Racer on 49, and it's Tony, Albert, Newgarden and Ryan Berry, your top 10. And then Risky Ryan, N89, Jim Strav, Mike, your other point scorers. That's all the way down to 15, so you had 15 point scorers. And everyone else still yet to score. And then looking at the constructors side of things, actually it's very close. Alfa Romeo leading the way, this is before the sprint as well, on 93 points. Then it's Ferrari on 88, then Mercedes and AlphaTauri on 86. So that is the top 4 in the constructors, separated by 7 points. That is crazy. Then Red Bull are in touch, but they are a little bit behind. They're on 72, so they're 21 off the lead. And then it's Haas, Alpine, Aston Martin and McLaren 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th, and then Williams still looking to score their first points of the season. So that's how the championship was looking heading into that sprint race. But yeah, also this pit building is really throwing me off, because where has it come from? I have never seen this building in my life. This it's just kind of spawned out of nowhere, and it's creeping me out a little bit. But we have readied up, so we will get the formation lap underway soon, and we'll get to see what strategy people are on and what we can expect to see from certain people. So the formation lap gets underway. Let's bring up the tyres. So a medium hard split, as we have become used to, and for good reason. These are simply the best strategies on F1 22, so it does make sense. So the top 7, that is Albert, Y-Racer, Jordan, Acorn, N89, Newgarden and Tony, all choosing the yellow-walled medium tyres, the middle compound. And then it's Hotspeed, our first hard runner, the white-walled tyre, going matching colour scheme with his AlphaTauri car. And Gareth and Dave are 9th and 10th. They've gone for the mediums as well. And Haslager, there he is, spinning out the final corner, getting some nice grass on his tyres, just to really add to the extra traction that he'll want. And now look, he's stuck. That is not the start he'd have wanted to his formation. Now he's got to catch back up, but they could get some nice temperature in his tyres by doing this, but he doesn't want to get reset for being too far behind. He is also on the white-walled hard, so he's going to be looking to go long into this race, potentially try and overcut a few people. The overcut obviously being where you pit later than others and try and make up time in between the time they pit and when you pit. So you see there the strategies popping up. The fastest strategy the game is saying is a medium hard. I think it was a medium hard. Well, it's definitely a 1-stop. So it'll be either a medium hard or a hard medium, depending on what you're starting on. The 2-stop doesn't really work around here. It's not the easiest track to overtake. Really, the only proper overtaking spot is turn 1. Maybe down to turn 2 if you are very close behind and the car in front has a bad run out of turn 1. But really, the only overtaking spot is turn 1, so yeah, you kind of want to be limiting overtakes. This can make things a little bit tricky for Haslager, who has to overtake at least 7 8 cars, you have to say, to have a good race for his standards. He'll be wanting at minimum a podium, but definitely benefits likes of Albert, who's shown he has severe pace advantage over the cars behind. especially Y Racer and those sorts of people. So he's going to be looking at the progress of the likes of Gareth and Hassler, because he will probably still see them as his main challenge. But he does mess up getting onto the grid once again. So Albert showing maybe that's a little bit of a weakness for him, getting onto the grid. But here we go. Hassler will be the last car to line up after being the first one to line up for the sprint. Just shows what the sprint can cause. And here we go now. The cars all on the grid. The lights coming on. That is 5 lights for the Hungarian Grand Prix. The lights go out quickly and away we go. And it is a good start for Y Racer. He's done what Haslager did, sorry. He has lost the lead off the start. And that is Y Racer up to P1, and there's some battling going on behind. That's 3 wide there for a second, I think. Albert has had an awful start. The P1 curse strikes again, and Acorn up to second. Is Jordan going to be able to hold around this outside? There's more battling going on behind, but Jordan manages to hold around the outside of turn 2. He's going to have the inside line of turn 3. And that is Jordan holding on, and Albert's going to now have a look at Acorn. Is he? No, he's going to tuck in behind the Alfa Romeo, and that is single file. Oh my, that is Tony and Gareth then goes. Gareth has an amazing start. Gareth up into the top 5 already. Haslager making 1 position. Hotspeed having a poor start on the hards. And now they're all going to have to settle into the middle sector. Noah taking spot through here, so it's going to have to be single file. What start there for Y Racer. Albert having a poor start following Haslager, who had a poor start in the sprint. And in fact, there is overtakes going on in the middle sector. That's N89 losing a position there to Dave, I think. And now he's going to let his teammate Haslager go. Is Hotspeed going to fancy his chances as well? He's going to try, but it's not going to work. He's going to get forced a little bit wide there. So Y Racer leads the opening lap here in VSL Tier 2 for the Hungarian Grand Prix. He's going to come across the line, set the fastest lap, and Haslager's had a spin. Haslager has had at least a half spin. He hasn't lost too much time though. He's just back to the back of the grid. Is Jordan going to be close enough to move? No, he's not, but Albert will. Gareth should have a good view of this. He's going to come on the scene quickly. And does Acorn have the traction? He does, and now is Acorn back up to P3. Still side by side, and Acorn slots in front. There's the strategy up on the screen again, so yeah, the one stop, definitely the fastest strategy. Albert will want to get past Acorn in the Alfa Romeo as quickly as possible. He knows he's got the pace, but it's just, can he overtake? He's used quite a lot of battery on the opening lap, nearly 40% down on battery. And getting so close to the back of that Alfa Romeo, he's almost pushing him right on the long right. You do not want to touch the inside curve there, and look at that, Albert making mistakes. He is potentially pushing a little bit too hard, getting a bit frustrated behind the what you'd imagine would be the slower Alfa Romeo. And look at that gap out front, the front two, 1.7 seconds already. So this is working well into the Red Bull family's hands. Out front, Jordan is applying pressure to Y Racer. No DRS for this straight coming up or the straight after. He'll have to wait until a lap's time from now before he can open up that rear wing. Lose some drag. Jordan with the fastest lap. Y Racer with the defensive weaving, but no move going to be made at the front, and Albert is going to make a move. We're going to try and make a move anyway on Acorn. He's going around the outside this time instead of the inside. And who's going to appear first? It's going to be the Alfa Romeo once again. So Acorn doing an incredible job of holding off Albert here. And Gareth could potentially put Albert under pressure if he gets a good run out the final corner. We've seen Gareth's straight line speed in the sprint race. He has quite a lot of it. But Acorn still doing a very good job to hold on to P3 right now. Although the front two are still pulling away. That gap just creeping over 2 seconds now, or teetering on the edge. So DRS now enabled, only 2 activation zones here and only 1 detection. So if you have DRS for 1 straight, you have it for both. Now in the final sector, the long left off the penultimate corner and then the long right off the final. And then it will be down towards turn 1 where Albert will definitely be looking to make a move and improve his position to the podium places. Y Racer setting another fastest start. That's a 20.9 for him. A 21.5 for Albert. So he's 6 tenths off. He's going to have to look for the outside line once again. Late on the brakes, but so is Acorn. And once again, it plays out the same. Acorn getting better traction and keeping P3. Newgarden and Davo having moves there. Gareth looking for the move on Albert, in fact. So Albert's gone from attacking to defending in the space of one little straight. But he doesn't succumb to the pressure. He sticks in P4 for now. Newgarden improving his position on Davo. Now Gareth running a little bit wide. That could potentially be a warning. 3 warnings and you're out. You have a 3-second penalty. So you definitely don't want to be doing that too many times. It is quite an easy track to get a penalty around here, especially at turn 4 where Gareth just ran wide there. It's very easy to get a bit of understeer in the car and just run a little bit wide, or even cut on the inside. Both can happen. And this is also the other spot that you can run wide, and Albert potentially done there. That was very close to being over the white line for the Alpine. Down to 40% ERS nearly for Albert, so he is burning. What is Acorn 65? So Acorn definitely preserving more ERS. Albert needs to get this move done. He's wasting ERS and wasting time. These two out front, although the gap has stagnated a little bit, it does continue to grow marginally. And here we go again. Albert going to have the inside line now. He's going to brake late. Oh, could potentially be contact there, but no, they keep it clean. Who's going to get the better traction? Acorn's going to get the better traction once again, and Alpha's having to burn all his ERS. He's got to make the move now, otherwise this could leave him very vulnerable. And there's still more wheel banging on board. We'll go on board with Gareth. He's going to have a good view of this, and Acorn, is he going to manage to hold it around the outside? They're going to be side by side now, down towards the fast turn 4. Who's going to fight in front? Acorn's on the inside line, and he's going to push it up onto the curb, and that's going to cause Alpha's run wide. Oh, and he cuts just in front of Tony on his rejoin. I wonder how close that was to contact. That can't have been far away from a secondary incident. But I think Acorn defending that position really, really well. Pushing Albert to the limits and potentially getting him beached on that curb. I think that was Acorn's corner. That's just my opinion though. So we carry on. Albert now down to 5th. So going hunting for a P3. Now actually lost the position and finds himself down in P5. Now it's Gareth's turn to try and get past the mighty Alfa Romeo. And Hot Speed has found himself facing the wrong way. And he's going to have to whack that AlphaTauri into reverse to get himself facing the right way and able to do the flick spin. So that's going to cost him an extra valuable second or 2. And now Acorn still defending. No, sorry, that was Y-Racer in fact. And Alpha's got past Gareth. They're side by side. Who is going to be the last late breakers? Gareth, he had an instant here. We're down in towards this next corner in the sprint. And oh, more wheel banging. Here comes Tony. He could get involved now. He's going to look to the inside on Albert. He's going to potentially stick his front wing down there, but no. Just back in time. Hashtag an N89 swapping position, so N89 potentially letting his teammate through. Team orders there at Ferrari. So this battling for not even P3 anymore. It's more the battle for P4 is raging on, and look at that. The front two continue to pull away. It's now to 3.1. So they will be licking their lips, potentially avoiding battling just to try and gain this lead, thinking to themselves, yeah, we have the power position. If we pull away, then we can squabble and decide who is going to take home the golden trophy. But Gareth still hot on the heels of Acorn. Acorn dummying a little bit of a defence there, but pulls back to the racing line before the corner. You want to open up the corner as much as possible. You don't want to... I can't remember the word. Words are just falling out of my brain. But he does miss his apex there in the final corner. This will give him maybe a little bit of a better exit, but it will probably cost him a little bit of time overall. And here comes Gareth. He's going to burn the ERS. He's got the DRS wide open. Acorn deciding to go to the racing line to open up the corner. And Gareth down the inside. Acorn going to try and hold it. We've seen him get good traction out of turn 1 before, but I think this could potentially be Gareth's position. Gareth brakes really late, but manages to get the move done. And yeah, that is Gareth's position now. He is up to P3. What can he do? Can he pull away from the Alfa Romeo? So Albert has seen Gareth do it. Can he follow suit? He'll rather do it now than wait another few laps. And oh, Acorn makes a mistake and Albert hits the back of him. I'm not sure it was a heavy enough bit of contact to cause damage, but that definitely will cost him a bit of time and maybe make Albert a little bit wary off the back of the Alfa Romeo. We'll go off board to see if we can see any damage. I can't. That front wing looks pretty intact to me. But Albert really going to be wanting to make the move now. He's losing so much time to the cars in front. But Gareth up to P3, he's got to hunt down the two in front now. As Jordan, I think, has potentially made a little bit of a mistake. And Albert's going to try to go around the outside here, but that's never going to work. That is not really an overtaking spot. And Tony will probably be thinking, what is going on in front of me? He's just observing some weird scenes. Albert gets a good run here, although he's got no ERS. He's going to be on pretty much 0% by the time he gets to turn 1. And that's pretty much going to make the overtake impossible unless he's very late on the brakes, which he can't be. And he's going to look for the turn 1 exit. He's going to open the DRS, gets good traction, but it's not going to be a long enough straight for him to make the move. Davo could look for a move on Tony here. He's going to launch it down the inside and make heavy contact with Tony. That was very aggressive and maybe a bit over the limit there for Davo. That was really kind of silly there. Too late on the brakes. I don't think he meant to go that late on the brakes, and that could potentially be damage for Tony. That was hard contact between him and the McLaren, but the McLaren gets away with it, and he's up to P6, so now he's behind Albert, and that's a spin there for N89. He's spun it around, but managed to flick spin it and gets going again. He's got hot speed, a good 15 seconds behind, so he shouldn't lose any positions with that spin. And now Albert still pushing, he's burning. Why is he burning? These are not the places you want to be burning ERS. Save your ERS for the main straight. He's just hindering himself now. I think he's getting a bit more impatient. Maybe the frustration is growing in the Alpine seat. Just wanted to get past Acorn and up into P4. And he's got another good exit. This could potentially be the move. He's very close now. But once again, hindered on ERS, and look, he just hasn't got the ERS. He's using it in the wrong places and doesn't have enough for the main straight. So unless he either starts to save or can be very late on the brakes, he's not going to get the move done, and he pushes Acorn out the corner, and Davo could have a run here. You can see the light flashing on the back of the Alpine. That's showing he has less than 10%, whereas Davo has 35. So Davo's been making overtakes and has more ERS, just showing how important ERS management is on the F1 games. But you can just see the extra speed Albert carries through the corners is crazy. He has so much more confidence, and Gareth is now caught up to the back of Jordan, so that's one to keep an eye on as well. Gareth showing his pace. Since he got past Acorn, he's pulled nearly 3 seconds on him and has closed that 2-second gap that was there to Jordan down to nothing. So Albert's still sitting, waiting for a potential overtaking opportunity. He does need to be wary though. Davo, we'd just seen him a lap or two ago making a very aggressive move. And there goes Albert. Albert, the frustration has reached a climax, and he's now spun, trying to get maybe a little bit too early on the traction, too aggressive, and has found himself facing the wrong way, and now N89 coming up behind him. So that is Albert going to lose it about 10 seconds with that. And will we see him pit? And in fact, there's Gareth overtaking Jordan. I did say to watch that and I just completely forgot. But that is Gareth up to P2, so he's showing the pace he's got. And is David going to go for a move on Acorn as well? So Gareth making light work of Jordan there. And what about Davo? Davo pulling to the outside. He's going to go all the way around the outside here. And Acorn defends it well. Is there going to be a switchback? There is not. So Davo, P5 for him. Haslager starting last. Has now got up into P6. And he's going to join the battle. He's on the hard, so his tyres will hold up better than the two in front. And he should just get stronger and stronger as these two tyres start to wear. And the overcut could be a big strategy call for Haslager as he tries to come out in front of these two after the pit stops. Whereas Albert has now lost the position to N89 as well, so maybe Albert's had another little spin or something. Tyres are overheated, something like that, maybe grass on them a little bit. But Acorn taking defensive lines now, he's going to cost them more and more time. Jordan lost 1.5 seconds to Gareth already, so Gareth clearly has a lot of pace. I think that's now why Racer sweating in that Red Bull. As there you go, just to emphasise the amount of pace that Gareth has, he sets the fastest lap of the race. And here comes Haslager, he's burning. Dave has no ERS to defend with, and that's going to be Haslager in the throw, down to the inside, and oh my, that looks very late on the brakes. Davo going to have to concede the position. He's got no ERS to fight back with, so that is Haslager up to 5th. Now, can he get past Acorn? Acorn's definitely showed himself as a formidable opponent in that Alfa Romeo in P4. Can he manage to get past Tony? Has got past Davo, who's had a spin. Davo's had a spin there through turn 3, sorry. And now N89 going to come onto the back of him quickly. but not going to get past. He's going to have to sit behind. There's Albert still chilling in P9. So the pressure from behind has gone partly as Davo has a little excursion. So Haslager focusing fully on Acorn in front. Runs wide though. I've seen that a few times from Haslager, but he seems to not be getting warnings. He seems to be getting a bit lucky with his warnings. I've seen it a few times in the sprint, I think once or twice, and he didn't get a penalty there. So clearly he has mastered the art of running wide and not getting penalties. Whether it's getting him time or not though, I don't know. But good exit here for the Ferrari. Oh my god, a little bit all over the place. I think that was maybe a little bit of lag. But he's going to burn the battery now. Opens the DRS. You can see the Acorn light there flashing. And now to the outside. We'll go on board with Tony as he gets a good view of this battle. Acorn getting switched back by the Ferrari, who loses it. Haslager, that was scary for Tony there. He nearly had a Ferrari swerving back across the track into him, but they both managed to avoid it, so we carry on. But Haslager unable to overtake Acorn. Acorn is the Great Wall of Nut. Is an Acorn a nut? I think it is. But the Great Wall of Nut stands firmly in P4. The only person who's passed it so far is Gareth, who now finds himself about 5 seconds up the road and pressuring Y-Racer maybe for P1 soon. Now it is his teammate Tony who is the next one to take on the Great Nut. What can he do? Although he does have Haslager to worry about behind, who will be wanting to regain his momentum. And oh my, that was late on the brakes there for Haslager, but I guess it stopped nicely for the corner there. So it's P6 for our pole sitter from the sprint. And Albert now is caught up to the back of N89, so both Ferraris could potentially looking at a position change down to turn 1. Haslager has the DRS, Tony does not. But even with the DRS and burning, he's not gaining. So how much ERS Tony has? Quite rich in the ERS department. So that is good for him. And look at this, Haslager down to 6%. So he's pretty much flat. And now he's going to be stuck behind for at least about another minute as they go and work their way through the middle sector where there aren't any overtaking opportunities unless someone in front makes a mistake. Albert also will be looking to make moves, but he was unable to find a move on N89 in the early parts of lap 13. Coming towards the pit stops in maybe 3 or 4 laps time, depending on what strategies he drives on. And there goes N89, N89 spinning once again, so he finds himself backwards. He's going to lose the position to hot speed as well, and oh, don't spin again. He manages just about to catch that one. Newgarden, who actually has pits, and Newgarden is on the hard tyres, and then N89 spun again, so that's going to be Newgarden up to 10, but N89 down to last. So Newgarden, the first of the pits, he's on 5-fold hards. I think he can go to the end from there. That is quite a long stint though. That's about a 25 lap stint there, I think. So Haslager is still looking for the move on Tony, but no ERS in the back of that Ferrari. And Tony does have a penalty, so that is something to keep an eye on. So Haslager, no move here. Will he get a good run through turn 3? Not good enough. He's going to be sitting behind once again. And N89 is now going to call into the pit lane for what should be his one and only pit stop. We'll put on the hard tyres, I imagine, as he comes crawling down the pit lane at 51 miles an hour. And there you see the Ferrari mechanics putting on a set of the Whitewall hard compound. So yeah, it is hard to the end for N89. He's got some work to do after those few spins. He was actually not having a bad race, he was having quite a good race, but unfortunately there we have a spin in front. It's Jordan, the man who was in P3, the only person who is well, I don't know what I was going to say, to be honest, but Jordan having a spin down to P7. He's now got Albert behind him, pressuring him for P8, and Albert could be looking to make a move quickly down the inside of the penultimate corner. Jordan leaves the space. Albert wasn't there, and being forced to mistake now, Jordan finds himself down to P8 and Acorn there pitting. So the Great Wall of Nut into the pit lane. This is people's chance to bolt and try and get past on strategy and avoid having to make the overtake on track, which has seemed to be a very difficult task. Haslager back into the DRS there of an Alfa Romeo. It's not Acorn anymore, it's Tony, so deja vu in the cockpit with Haslager. Maybe a few nightmares as well. But Jordan drops from P3 down to P7. He has some work to do now, and potentially a pit stop coming up. This is definitely the pit window. You can easily go 20 laps on the hards, and Newgarden will be going 26 or 27, I believe. But Acorn actually comes out in front of Newgarden, so Newgarden will be stuck behind Acorn as he tries to warm up those tyres. It is not a very easy task to drive fast on cold hards. There is absolutely no grip, so that is why the overcut can potentially be a good strategy. But we will see. There's Acorn coming through the middle sector. Will any of the people in front pit? Yep, Tony, his teammate, is going to call into the pits. Davo's going to stay out. Albert also going to pit. What about Jordan? Jordan's going to stay out. So about 50-50 whether they're pitting or not. The front two, though, staying out on the medium for a little bit longer. We'll have a look. What is the Alfa Romeo going to go on to? It will probably be a set of hards. It is. Where is his teammate? His teammate just coming out the final corner. This could be close. I think maybe Tony might get out in front here. We'll go on board with Acorn. No, Acorn's going to get him just about into the braking zone. What about Newgarden? Acorn getting past. What is Newgarden? Where is he? There's his front wing there on the outside. He has to go off the track, and it's going to be side by side down towards turn 2. He's going to be later on the brakes. You think Newgarden with his warmer tyres will get better traction. There you go. That does seem to be the case. Albert, though, 6 seconds behind. A poor stop for Albert. How has he lost so much? I really don't know how he's lost that much time. Maybe he had a 5-second stop go, but I didn't see one. So yeah, I'm not sure how Albert's lost so much time there. This could potentially be an opportunity for Jordan to make a move if he was to pit now, and Davo as well. Also, he should look at pitting now. Y-Racer stays out. Gareth, though, the man in P2, comes into the pits for his one and only stop. Where is Davo? Davo going to extend his stint even longer, going to at least lap 17. In fact, no, Davo did pit. It looked like he was going to carry on, but Davo is in. So is Jordan. So the only medium runner who is still out is Y-Racer. So the Red Bulls doing completely opposite strategies. Y-Racer going very long on the mediums. Newgarden pitting early for the hard tyres. He's going to go a long way on those. So Gareth comes out nicely. Acorn jumping Davo. Davo, in fact, is going to lose quite a lot of time. So Jordan is going to come out behind Albert as Albert actually does the purple last sector, but Davo is going to come out in front. So Albert is actually P9 until Hot Speed and Haslager pit. So that should be a net P7, I believe, unless Haslager can maybe come out in front of the Alpine. But Gareth in front of Hot Speed, so Gareth P3, and you've got to imagine Y-Racer will react to that pit stop from Gareth. He doesn't want to give him a chance to undercut him. So let's have a look at Y-Racer. Yep, that's going to be the Red Bull in. So the Red Bull is pitting. That's all the medium runners in on lap 17. Haslager, you imagine he'll stay out, go a bit longer, and try and make use of those fresh mediums at the end. Newgarden, not too far behind Acorn, but Acorn with the 7-lap fresher tyres should be able to use those fresher tyres to his advantage. And in fact, Y-Racer is going to come out quite away in front of Gareth. That's going to be about 3-4 seconds, I think. And it is 4 seconds, although it should come down as Y-Racer has to warm up his tyres. The hard, cold tyres are definitely not the one. And Albert is going to try and make a move on Davo. He tries to go around the outside. Davo dives it down the inside. There's going to be contact there. There is. Davo pushes him off the track, and Albert unable to pass. That was very aggressive defending from Davo there. We've seen him aggressive on offense, and now on the defense he is aggressive as well, keeping the Alpine of Albert behind. So it is status quo. Albert behind Davo. going back towards the front. Newgarden is sticking with Acorn nicely, so the older tyre is not hindering Newgarden just yet. That could potentially be a factor more towards the end of the race when those tyres do come towards the end of their life cycle. So now we are waiting on Haslager and Hotspeed to pit. We're more interested in Haslager because I think he could come out near this battle. So, as Gareth says, fast lap on 1 minute 20.001. Very nearly dipping down to the 119s here. And Newgarden burning what little ERS he has left. Albert, is he going to try again on Davo? He's further back this time. I don't think he's going to be close enough to make the move yet, just yet. He's going to have to sit behind him for a little bit longer. And the McLaren keeps the Alpine behind for at least one more lap. Newgarden sitting behind Acorn, and Tony could join the battle now. So, Newgarden still sticking with Acorn. He's about 6.5 seconds behind Hotspeed, who hasn't pit yet. And we'll have a look at the leader intervals. I've got to assume it's about 20 seconds. And we've had a spin. Albert has spun. Not for the first time this race. The Alpine facing the wrong direction. And that's going to be him losing a position to Jordan. So he's now down to 10th. With only N89 who is way off behind. So this race really not going to plan for Albert. The pole position curse striking twice in one night. Gareth about to close up to the back of Y-Racer. So this is actually our battle for the lead. That gap has come down really quick. Wow. I didn't realise how quickly that gap has come down. Does Albert have front wing damage potentially here? He has pit. We'll have a look. As he peels off into the pits, Albert, in fact, no, he's retiring from the race. So Albert is calling it a day there. And Gareth is now right on the back of Y-Race. That gap was about 4-5 seconds coming out of the pits, and now it's 4/10. So Gareth showing incredible pace here. Hopefully Albert's AI will peel off the pits because they don't tend to ghost when you've retired. Haslager probably be pitting soon. Same for Hotspeed. Let's go on board with him. Is he peeling off yet? No, he's sticking out for a few more laps. Well, at least one more. But what about Gareth? He saved 40% ERS. What's Y-Racer on? He's on 90. Y-Racer really saving the ERS just for an occasion like now when he needs to defend. Gareth getting an incredible exit. Look at the run that the Mercedes has there. Hotspeed pitting on his hards. He's going to be pitting for the mediums, who should have more pace. And is Haslager spun? No. That is N89. Wow, I was very panicked there. And oh, is that a safety car? It is. That is a safety car. This is huge for Haslager. Where's N89? N89 spinning and losing his front wing. So, this is massive for Haslager. He's going to be able to pit onto fresh mediums. And actually, which Alpha Tower is going to climb for? It's going to be Jordan just about. What will these people on hards decide to do? Will we see them pitting for medium tyres as well? Because the mediums should be a massive advantage in this race. This could be about to get very, very interesting. Well, go on board with Haslager. He's definitely going to come to the pits now. Oh, in fact, sorry, I'm getting confused there again. Does N89 is going to pit. So he's going to pit for what I imagine would be a fresh set of mediums. And here we go with Haslager. We'll jump on board with him as he comes around towards the pit lane. And he is, of course, going to pit off his back. N89 is going to go for the soft tyres. He thinks the softs are the play. I mean, in the 11 lap sprint race, they all went mediums, and this is longer than that. So if they weren't using softs for the sprint, why would they use softs for the for this? Technically, I mean, this could be a little sprint race, and it's going to be mediums for Haslager, but he's got a slow stop because of his teammate. His teammate has actually made him have a slow stop there, and that could cost him maybe if these lot. Newgarden's going to stay out. Mulan, the one person who I was pretty sure would pit, stayed out on 13 lap old hards. And he is going to come out behind Haslager. So Haslager will pop out of the pit lane P3 on a set of brand new mediums. So he could put Y-Racer and Gareth under a lot of pressure here. Acorn going for the mediums, but the Alfa Romeo, sorry, double stacking in the pits, and Tony's going for softs along with N89. So Tony and N89 on the softs, and Acorn has put on 14 lap old mediums. So you've got to imagine Acorn will be coming back into the pits here to change tyres, because I think that is a mistake, unless he wants to do 27 laps or whatever on the mediums, then he will be coming back to the pits. But this man here, Hasaga, everything was played so nicely into his hands here. Now with a P8 and fresh tyres, will he be able to capitalise? That is the question now. Tony, with that penalty, that's going to hinder him even more. The penalty gets pretty much enhanced under the safety car because it bunches everyone up, so 3 seconds is now worth what was about 10 before. Coming round to complete our first full lap of the Hungarian ring under safety car will go on board with Acorn, so I assume he's going to be coming back into the pits, which will drop him behind his teammate, but I think he's far enough in front where it's not going to affect his position in regard to N89. I think he's going to come out in front still. So yeah, Acorn back into the pits, realising his mistake. Will he decide to strap on a set of softs now, maybe? Let's have a look. I mean, clearly he doesn't have a fresh set of mediums, so it looks like it's going to have to be softs unless he wants to go on the hards. So yeah, it's going to be softs for both Alfa Romeos. So the back three of this train will all be on softs. Let's see what they can do. Depending on when N89 catches, the safety car could be in this lap or next lap. It all depends. So the safety car just leaving sector 1 as N89 enters it. I think we're going to have to do at least one more lap under the safety car after this one. Don't think he'll catch in time, but going on board with our race leader Y-Race, who's been leading since lap 1 pretty much, and he's got a massive job on his hands with Gareth, who's showing incredible pace behind, and also Haslager, who, while he hasn't been in the title fight, will the title fight, the fight for the race win, sorry, he will be definitely involved now with these fresher tyres and obviously the faster compound. The safety car staying out, the lights still on the top. Where's that 89? He's still about 5-6 seconds behind these lots, so I don't think we're going to be going green this time. So no, the safety car is staying out. Y-Race, wait, is it coming in? No, it's not. It is staying out. When I seen Y-Race backing up, then I was like, no way, it's coming in. But it wasn't. So we have one more lap. It will come in after this lap, you will imagine. So at the end of this, it will be 11 laps they have to do on the softs. Definitely doable, I think. Well, we'll have to see. They probably will be pretty dead at the end. So yeah, we await the restart. Let's have a look. Who has the fastest lap? So there's your penalty situation. 3 seconds for Tony. Nobody else has any. Here we are. So Gareth with a 20.0, just beating out Jordan. You can see there on a 20.0 as well, but his is a 3.3. Gareth is an 0.1, so beating him by just over 300ths. Is there any other interesting things to look at? Everyone on a one stop apart from the back two who are on a 3 and 2 stop. Our biggest gainers are Gareth, who's gone up 7, and Haslag, who's gone up 8. But that is something you probably would expect as they were at the front of the sprint race grid before having poor sprint races and falling towards the back. But yeah, we're about to go green again. I imagine it will say safety car in as we cross this sector 3 split or sector 2 split. There we go, the lights go off, Bert Miner zooms off into the distance, getting ready to unleash these incredible vehicles to do the final 11 laps here in Hungary and fight it out for the race win. Hotspeed and Tony there swapping positions. So that's a bit of a kerfuffle between those lot, but Y-Racer, he gets to decide when we go. Once that safety car peels up into the pits, which you can see it doing there, we are now under his mercy. When will he decide to go? In fact, Gareth has given him a huge breathing room there, and he's going to be nowhere near him on the restart. So what a great restart for Y-Racer, who finds himself over a second clear already. Is there going to be any moves? Davo's close to Newgarden. Is he going to go down the inside to turn 1? He's going to look for it, but not quite close enough. Will any of the soft runners be able to make any moves? They should have a lot better traction than everyone else. No incidents so far, which is good on the restart. But Y-Racer, what a great safety car restart for him. Really controlled it well. Gareth gave him some breathing room. I'm not too sure what was going on with Gareth there, but Y-Racer capitalises fully. And now the pack are chasing him down. But look, Haslager pulling away from Newgarden, who's on those 17 lap old hards. I'm not really too sure. I thought Newgarden would take the opportunity to pit, especially given his worst tyre situation than nearly everyone else on the grid. And now he's got Davo behind him, who will be looking to make a move. We've seen some aggression from Davo already in this race, so it's definitely not out of the question. Well, the picture, they'll do it again, but who will potentially have to wait for DRS to be enabled. No DRS on the opening 2 laps after a safety car restart, so it won't be enabled as we cross the line now. It'll be enabled next time round. And the gap out front, 4 tenths. If there was DRS enabled, I think Y-Race would be worried, but without it, he should be pretty comfortable. And yellow to 3, Newgarden is out. Newgarden is out of the race. He has crashed on the exit of the final corner, and that is Newgarden out. So Red Bull's day goes from great to maybe potentially not so great, as their second car crashes, and now Y-Racer is under immense pressure from behind. As there we go, the safety car coming back out. This will help the soft runners, but the safety car back out on track. So these lot will now have to loop around to catch up. They are all in a pack, so unless there is a pit, it won't stay out for that long, because there is no one ready to wait for to catch up. They are all together anyway. But we could potentially see... Excuse me. We could potentially see some people pit if they want to go for the softs now, and there we go. We have Gareth in. Gareth deciding to take the softs. So's Davo. Is anybody else? Nobody else is going to, so it's going to be Gareth and Davo falling down to the back of the grid to pit for softs, you'd imagine. There's the Mercedes pit garage, and you can see soft tyres going on there. What about Davo? He's going to have the softs as well, so it's now going to be over 50% of the field remaining are on the soft tyres. But Gareth and Davo have a job on their hands. They've got to try and get through the entire field in what will be about 7 or 8 laps, which is going to be a big ask even for someone as talented as Gareth. And now Y-Racer has Haslager on what will still be pretty fresh mediums. He's only really done 1.5 actual laps on those tyres. Every other lap has been coasting behind the safety car. As Gareth and Davo tried to catch back up. They should catch up pretty quickly, so I'm not sure if we'll get going at the end of this lap or whether we will have to wait one more. But there they are, they've now caught up. These two will want the race to get going as soon as possible so that they have the most amount of time to make moves. And I'm sure Newgarden will want it to stay out a little bit longer. We'll have a look. What is it? Are we going to get a message from race control here? No, it looks like it's going to stay out for another lap. That will be good for Y Racer. Let's have a look. There is potential for it to be called very late, but no, it looks like it is going to stay out. And yep, there we go. It drives past the pit lane, so these lot will have 7 laps of racing when we go green. And obviously, the first 2 of those laps, or the first 3 really, there will be no DRS. And in fact, N89 is decided to pit for a fresh set of softs. I believe it'll be a fresh set of softs. And it is, yep, so fresh softs going on the Ferrari. That moves Davo and Gareth up a position. Gareth now 7th. I'm really surprised that more people didn't decide to pit because, I mean, the softs will probably be quite a large pace advantage around here. So we wait for N89 to catch up. He hopefully will catch up before the safety car gets round. Otherwise we'll have another lap behind it. And he's not really pushing, so he might not catch up if he carries on going this slow. But no, he has caught up, so we will get going, I imagine. Let's have a look. Yep, safety car in this lap. So, once again, Y Racer is in control. He decides when we go. It'll be pretty hard to have a better restart than he had last time round, but he's going to need it if he wants to hold on to this position and hold on to this race win here at Hungary. So when will he decide to go? Let's go on board with him. He runs wide around the final corner, try and get a good run onto the straight. And there we go, he puts his foot down and gets a pretty good jump. He should be safe into turn 1. And Gareth, he'll be able to make moves early on as well. He has the Great Wall of Nut in front of him. But no, he moves down to turn 1. It's still all single file. Saga is applying pressure to Y Racer, although you have to think you will have to wait for the DRS to be enabled before a move is possible. Oh, and he makes a mistake! He doesn't want to be doing that, he wants to try and stay as close as possible to Y Racer in front. Has a good chicane, regains the time that he lost there, you can imagine. And yeah, a good little sector here for Hassler. Oh, gets a bit loose through the left-right. Manages to regain it nicely without losing too much time. So there is one of our 2 laps about to be completed. And wow, Y Racer goes defensive, compromises his line. And now he's got Hassler all over the back of him. He's going to go and try to go around the outside off the penultimate corner. No, there is no way around there. But Y Racer under major pressure here. And Hassler could potentially even make the move without DRS. So Y Racer goes defensive. You can tell he's burning. Acorn getting past his teammate Tony. There's a few positions there. Oh my, wow. That was close to contact. And there's a battle for the lead. It's all kicking off right now. Oh, Y Racer loses. That's Hassler going to the lead. Is Tony going to be able to get past? No, he's not. There's been contact. The Great Wall of Nut is round. Jordan losing. nearly a position there to Gareth. Oh no, sorry, to he's nearly getting past hot speed even. Sorry, I'm completely losing track of what's going on. A lot of drama happening at the end of the first lap after the safety car, but it's now Haslager who leads from Y Racer. So Haslager has a big opportunity here to extend his championship lead. After having a dreadful sprint, it's all fallen into place for the Ferrari man, who now finds himself at the front of the pack with only 5.5 laps to go now. And hot speed on the back of Y Racer. Y Racer struggling a little bit on the hards maybe. He is dropping off from Haslager pretty rapidly. What's the ERS saying? Yeah, Y Racer does have more than hot speed, but hot speed will have the DRS come next lap. And there it is, the fastest lap of the race from Haslager, a 19.1. That's 1.4 seconds quicker than hot speed in P3. And any moves being made, Tony into the pits. So Acorn up into 8th, N89 up into 7th. But is hot speed the closest man to making an overtake right now? But no, it's Gareth. On his softs, the leading soft runner. He'll be pressuring Jordan, who's on 14 lap on hard. The pace difference should be huge between these two. So is Gareth going to be able to make a move for P4, and maybe can he get himself up into a podium position, up into P2? He would maybe have been hoping for a bit more of a battle at the front to not allow a car to run away, but that is what happened. That is not what happened even. As Haslager got himself into the lead and has now got a 2.5 second gap nearly over P2. So DRS is now enabled. Hot speed will get it. But everyone of these, all three of these cars behind hot speed will get it. Or behind Y Racer, sorry. Hot speed very close, maybe a little bit too close. Has a poor exit. Opens the DRS. He's already used all his ERS. Somehow he's already used all his ERS. That is not good for him. Is he going to dive it on Y Racer? No, he's going to sit behind and try and get a good exit here on his mediums. Opens the DRS early. No move to be made there. Davo on an 89. Davo got damage there. You can see on the left end plate it is missing. And very, very close here. Y Racer has far more ERS. He's 30% better nearly than hot speed behind. None of these are penalties. There's only one person with penalties, which is crazy because Hungary is quite an easy track to get penalties. And Y Racer missing his apex just a little bit there. All of this is going to allow hot speed to keep as close as possible. You can see him hitting his apexes nicely on these mediums. They are 11 laps old, so potentially could start to well, though we have had quite a few laps under safety car under this stint. Into the final sector now, and that's Y Racer going wide. That's going to allow hot speed to get even closer. But still, hot speed not having much ERS. So, coming down now towards turn 1. Is there a move on here? Look at the straight on speed, that Red Bull, that is crazy. Hot speed's going to have to be aggressive here if he wants to make a move. Clearly that Red Bull has great straight on speed. He goes deep. And that's not going to allow him to make the move. Jordan is back as closer to him than hot speed is to Y Racer. There's more battling going on with N89 and Davo. N89 is through, so that's N89 up to P6. Good race for him. Davo and Acorn now battling. Acorn trying to go all the way around the outside of turn 2. Oh my, that's going to get close. Tony setting the fastest lap. And Davo just about fends off the Alfa Romeo for the time being. Only three laps to go, 2.5 nearly. So Gareth stuck in P5 at the minute. He's used nearly all his ERS, whereas Jordan has saved. Hot speed still close to Y Racer, but not really anywhere to make an overtake. He doesn't have the ERS to make it on to turn 1 either. He probably has to start saving if he wants to make a real effort for this. He's not close enough to make it into turn 1 either, I don't think, especially with how good that Red Bull's top end speed is. Look at that. He's burnt all through his ERS and is no closer to making the move. Tony's had a spin. Yeah, Hotspeed needs to try and think about this sensibly right now. Gareth getting a good exit. He's burning. He's going to look down to the inside for turn 2. He's going to lay on the brakes. We saw him doing this in the sprint and mess up. Ooh, very close to contact, but no, Gareth's still in P5. Getting a bit of oversteer there through turn 3. That's not what you want to be having us through a fast corner like that. You can see the light flashing on the back of the AlphaTauri. We're now on board with Hotspeed on 7% ERS, 8%. What is Y-Racer is on 19, so he shouldn't come under too much pressure. He has the ERS to defend. So without a mistake, it is looking like Y-Racer. He's only got to defend one more time. There is really only one overtaking spot left to go. Hotspeed is up on his PB. It looks like... Yeah, I don't think Hotspeed is going to be close enough here. I'm coming out the final corner now for the main straight for the final time. You see the light finally flashing there on the back of the Red Bull. Is Hotspeed going to send it? He brakes late, but not late enough to go down the inside. And there, he's lost it! Hotspeed pushing too hard. He's now lost it into the wall. That's him down to 5th. And that was quite a hard whack on the rear. I'm not sure if he's going to have rear wing damage from that. I don't know if he can get rear wing damage. But that is now Hotspeed down to P5. That's Gareth up to 4th. And oh yeah, there he's gone again. I think there's rear wing damage on the AlphaTauri. That is him down to 7th, 8th now. So Hotspeed starting the final lap in P3. Finds himself down in P8. So now it's down to Jordan. Can Jordan make a move on Y-Racer? Or will Y-Racer be able to hold on for P2 here at Hungary? Oh, Jordan makes a little bit of a mistake. But gets a really good exit actually. This is probably the final semi-overtaken spot. But no move to be made. He's not close enough. So it looks like Y-Racer is going to be able to hang on. But it's Haslager who started at the back nearly. I think he may have actually started last. And he is going to come home to win the Hungarian Grand Prix here in VSL Tier 2. What a drive from him. First to last to first. For Haslager after a horrible sprint. It's P1 for him. Y-Racer fends off the cars behind to hold on to P2. Jordan with a great recovery for P3 there. Gareth, maybe that late race pit stop was a mistake for him. He had P2 at least looking like it was in the bag, but no, he decides to pit and now he ends P4 and 89. Just kept it clean there at the end and finds himself P5. Dale with some aggressive driving throughout the race. P6 Acorn unable to get him after their little tussle towards the end. P7 Hotspeed with that late mistake. Well, there's 2 mistakes really. Gets P8 and Tony will be our final finisher when he does come across the line. He's in the final sector now. He will get P9 when he crosses the line, and I think he also has to pass that. We'll have a quick check of that. There we go. Yeah, so Tony will also get the fastest lap with those soft tyres that he put on there at the end. So we'll wait for him now as he comes around the final corner. Definitely not going to get the fastest lap with this one. Weaving across the line to celebrate the P9. And there we go. That is your lot for the Hungarian Grand Prix. We'll have a final look at the standings. Have a look at them on the podium. And the game is giving Haslager drive of the day, and it is very difficult to argue that. What a drive from him. Really, really good show to come home and win the Hungarian Grand Prix. So there he is emerging onto the podium in the scarlet red of the Ferrari. Giving us a nice little jump onto the podium, waving to his adoring fans. And there he goes, lifting the trophy. Very, very good race from him, and well done to Haslager. But let's have a look then at our race results. So Y-Racer coming home P2, Jordan P3 round off the podium, Gareth 4th and 89, 5 5th, Dalo, Acorn, Hotspeed and Tony your final finishers. And then we have the 2 DNFs of Newgarden and our pole sitter Albert, who unfortunately was the first of the DNFers. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me for the Hungarian sprint and main race, and I'll look forward to seeing you for the next one. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me and have a good rest of your week. Goodbye.